Welcome everybody to a very new show which I'm starting today. It is so called What Happened Last Week in Rocket League. It's going to be a hopefully weekly show until I probably give up on it, but for now it will be weekly. Hopefully for next week as well, but this week we've started off on the right day. We made it to the Monday, which I said, so fingers crossed we make it to next Monday. That's the hope here, so we can, at least call it weekly for more than just happening one day. Either way, this is going to be called Last Week on Rocket League. We're going to be discussing the latest Rocket League news, giving a quick rundown to people maybe who aren't as aware as Rocket League news, and getting a bit more insight to the news that's going on as well, giving maybe some opinions and stuff like that. So, to just crack into it, our going to have some background of the OCE, I think the most important game of the OCE Major on the weekend. It is Renegades v Cringe Society, and it was a fucking good series. We're going to get onto that series later on, but it was a good one. And like we've seen already in the first few games, it was entertaining to say the least. But either way, our very first thing to get a look over today, you can see it in the top corner of your screen there. Mr. Retals. Space Station Gaming got up to, well, I don't really say Space Station Gaming got up to stuff, but certainly stuff happened, which maybe wasn't the best for all parties involved. So, to give a quick rundown of what went on, so in the Rocket League Championship Series, it is the very third regional, North American Spring Regional number 3. I believe that one was sponsored by, it's slipped my mind now. Did it say here? That doesn't mention it in this, who it was sponsored by, it doesn't matter. Anyway, regional number 3 of the Rocket League Spring Split. It was Space Station Gaming versus Envy. And we had the match up, and it was going pretty well, and then I believe game number 3 comes around. And game number 3 is where things got a little bit dicey. Give me a quick second, let me get the clip up. But basically, to give a quick rundown, Typical going for the kickoff in game 3 overtime against Envy, DCs, and then there's a lot of suspense going around. A lot of suspense going around in the area because the game gets called off here. The goal gets scored by Envy because of the DC. And because of that, there's a bit of a moment. Bit of a moment indeed. Let me just quickly pull this up. This is not the thing I was exactly looking for, but this will also be a good indicator of what went on. Anyway, typical DCs and an easy goal score for Envy, and I think the whole community pretty much has agreed at this stage. Everyone's agreed that the DC, the goal could have been saved out of the DC. He's about to get the ball on kickoff. He just drive like a straight line past that ball and misses it because of it. But then the main issue comes around of the admins. So the admins, after about a 20-minute break, it seems like, if I remember correctly, or I guess deliberating, talking to the teams. I don't know if the teams had the saying if they wanted to replay the overtime or something. I don't know if Envy said no to replaying it. I can imagine both teams were asked, and maybe Envy said no, Space Station said yes, obviously. And that might have caused something, I don't know. But either way, by the end of the whole discussion, the admins have decided to come back and the casters come on and mention how that was the situation that didn't matter about the DC. They would not have won anyway. They didn't see anything unnatural happen. Just like a ping pipe when they alt-tabbed. So because of that, the game was won for Envy, and well, they went 2-1 up in the series. It goes in in the series, and Space Station are having a great time. Well, they're tilted. They're understandably so. Retals, Typical, and Arsenal all really tilted. But like when they score a goal, you can see their faces light up with joy, and they are popping off. They're having a great time, so happy because they might finally make it. They make it a game 7, and they lose it to Envy. Therefore, meaning they get knocked out in the semi-final. It didn't really matter for them due to the fact that they already made the major. They already accumulated enough points over the other regionals, so they were already safe and sound in the major. So because of that, it wasn't a huge big deal, but still prize money which could have been won. So obviously they're going to be annoyed about it. Retals leaves the game like 5 seconds early just because he's annoyed, which Rocket League is I think it's kind of become a meme at this point because I don't know if it's ever went through, but there is the fines that players get. So players are supposed to get fined if they leave a game early, but from what I have read from players, coaches, managers, etc., it seems like this has never actually happened before. So I'm not quite sure what the stance on fines are. Maybe it's like a you get a warning, you do it again, too bad kind of deal. I'm not quite sure, but either way, he gets fined and then he did his stream, which fair play to Retals. He did a stream and they had a donation goal, which is just pay for my fine, and everyone's rallying against it. Everyone's rallying behind him. But anyway, the big kicker with Retals comes from this clip right here. He comes onto Rodiz's stream. Rodiz just watching it. He done a viewing party.
You good? You good and everything?
I'll put it here for you here.
Yeah, I'm calling Chase an idiot for finding me.
Yeah, I'm trying to like defend you on some shit, bro. People.
Nah. Alright, nah. Here we go. Here's the fucking story. The shit happens. We have comms. We have Sip Shadow play. We have our comms saying Sip's like I can't move. The replay shows him going to 180 ping and packet lossing. Sonics then says that we didn't have proof that Sip was lagging. And then, when we lose that game 4 and it goes 3-1, Sonic says, "Yo, Sip, send your files over." And now, Shice is DMing me. I go into the Pro Discord, not very happy, obviously, calling them an absolute shit esport team. And then he says, "Who is this directed towards? Are they fucking dumb?" Dude.
So to explain what happened, basically, Shice is the head of esports over at Psyonix. Came around through PRL, made his way up. He's done a great job, obviously. For what he's given, he did a pretty good job. Either way, though, Retals, as he put here, just call him a dick, call him an idiot, all the sorts there. And well, this got around to Psyonix, and people were kind of deciding on the fence that this is like kind of a bit far from Retals. Kind of should chill out here, not be a bit of a prick, So then we come back, and Psyonix on the, I believe, Monday, released their competitive ruling for the situation. So on both the team and Retals, the team one wasn't very interesting. I'm not going to really bring it up that much. The team one was literally just they get the points they would have got for making it to the final, blah blah blah. We're sorry, kind of thing. But then the Retals one comes around, and instead of reading the whole thing out loud, because there's a lot of reading of rules, I can quickly paraphrase. The ruling is pretty much Retals repeatedly violated the code of conduct. Behaviour is included but not limited to berating and harassing tournament admins and Psyonix employees through Discord and Twitch, which we heard there in the stream. He said to himself that he did it, and I can imagine he also gave the admins some abuse in the Discord. I think finding him saying how the admins should get kicked and etc. Which, not the most professional thing to do, believe it or not. Either way though, they pull up the rules, there you go, you can see rules were broken, just covering their back. So the close of, they decide that Retals will be unallowed to play in the very first day of the North American Spring Major. The Spring Major is the last event before the championships, meaning it is the one that they qualify for through Spring. It is the top 12 teams of NA, so Retals will be unable to play in that first day. There's still 2 days of it, so the first day though Retals cannot play, so SSG will have to play with their sub Safyu. And because of that, Retals understandably a bit upset, but I think he kind of understood as well, and most people have agreed that you really shouldn't go online, berate the Psyonix employees and all the sorts, and there'll be consequences for it, and Retals paid the price for it. I think Psyonix mainly here, I would say setting an example of them, because if Retals got away with this, then other people can get away with it, why not? So I think to set an example of Retals here is probably a good idea on their part, and due to that, well, Retals has to face the punishment and come down here. We take behaviour extremely seriously. This type of behaviour is completely unacceptable and will not be taken lightly. Any additional infractions will result in increasing penalties, and we reserve the right to administer any additional discipline at our sole discretion, meaning that if Retals does this shit again, he's getting done. He's like, nope, you're out, Retals, bye bye. And they can do that, their game. And I have no problem with them being able to do that. It's up to their choice. That is the term and condition the player signed up for. They know that. But either way, no, and I think that Retals getting dropped is not dropped, but Retals getting, I don't know, chucked is probably an okay thing for this one day. I think it sets a good example. I'd rather it didn't happen in the first place. I think it's a good example for Retals that for all players that they cannot be doing this. This is a professional environment, and they cannot be like just calling them the admins and the esports team fucking stupid, anything like that. They can't be doing stuff like that. That doesn't fly in a professional environment. This is not like the Smash Bros esports scene, which is like just insanely I don't know, like insanely unprofessional. I guess I don't know. That's harsh to Smash. I like Smash, but yeah, no, like they want to be a big esport. They've got to kind of put their foot down. So I respect them for that. I still think the admin call was shit, but the admin will learn from that. Like, I'm not going to say that the whole admin team was bad. I'll say that this one admin made a mistake, and hopefully they'll learn from that and they won't make the mistake again. But realistically, he's put there for a reason. He's going to be a good guy at his job. So, yeah, and overall, I think bad call, but good reaction to the call. And I've got to give Cynics props for the way they dealt with it. Overall, I think I would rather them, give the goal. But excluding that, I think the way they dealt with it is pretty top tier. But either way, we're going to quickly move on. Thank you there. To, we do love YouTube and just blacking out the screen when I'm not in the tab. But either way, a very fitting game to watch. I'm just going to keep this game up for a bit, actually. Because we're talking about the Rocket League Oceanic Major. The first of the 4 major for the spring split was taking place last weekend. I was unable to watch it live, just because it happened at it started at 1 AM and ended at 5 or 6. I'm not staying up to watch that. I'll just watch it later, which is what I did do. But either way, we've seen the major, and you've got to feel bad for CJ, man. This is the match I'm showing you right now. It is Cringe Society versus Renegades. This was a match, so Cringe Society and Renegades, where I think probably about 30-point difference between them. So it was really whoever plays better in the major made the championship, because they were second and third. So whoever plays better here makes the championship. And this is the important game. Ground Zero's the top there, because we'll talk about them. They are the best team in OCE by a mile. Anyway, Cringe Society and Renegades, they're playing through, and it's a great series. Cringe Society start off really, really strong though, and they get 3-0 up, but Renegades start to bring it back. They might reverse sweep, and if Renegades reverse sweep, that is huge. That makes them go to the championships. Reverse sweeping Cringe Society, the other team in the top 3. This is battle for second place. But in that final game, they choke it and they lose in game 7 to Cringe Society, meaning that Cringe Society make the championships. They get second place overall and leave Renegades behind in the dust. But I think more importantly, I do kind of want to look at a specific team at the top. We know that the other teams exist and that they do their own thing, they'll get there. But a team who'd be doing even better than them all. Ground Zero Gaming absolutely dominated. They dropped a total of 3 games all tournament long. 2 in the group stage, and that was to Cringe Society, which is a good team. And Over, which went 1-3, but they're still a good team. This is a decent team. That's probably a throwaway game, who cares? But the fact that they went and dropped 3 games total. They went 4-0, 4-1. They won this game 7-0. Ground Zero on a different level, even here. They're decently close games, some 1-goal games, but it's this is a close series. This is not close in any regard, and you look at the points as well. Ground Zero, they're just ahead by 500 points, and this is the end now. They literally just, this is for spring alone. Overall, yeah, they're ahead by 1,300 over Cringe Society. Even BDS didn't have that much of a lead, and it's not because all the other teams are that bad. Cringe Society, Renegade, and Mindfreak, all really good teams. Inconsistent at times, sure, but to have Ground Zero dominate so much is insane. Absolutely insane that they just went so hard on this. And if they don't win the championships, I'd be so surprised, because they barely ever lose. This is a win. Win. That's semis, semis, win. Final loss. Win. Semis. Is that quarters? I think that's quarters, actually. That's their worst result. Their worst result was top 8 in fall regional 1. Otherwise, They dominated the whole way through. And I genuinely think that if we had like an actual LAN event, Ground Zero Gaming top 6 team at that LAN, at this current stage, Ground Zero Gaming, in my opinion, are a top 6 team in the world. They are that good, and I think people are sleeping on them a lot. It's insane just how good they are. Like, the rosters are pretty big powerhouses as well. It's Express, Amphis, Torsos. Amphis probably in my opinion now, maybe the best player in OCE. Torsos is just Torsos. He's insane, and Express is great as well. Jimin's a good coach as well, of course. But like, other teams are great as well. Like you got Cammy, CJ, and Fever, Drippy, Deca, and Jules, and Seki on the bench. Like, these are all really good teams here fighting for it. Yeah, this team just dominates so much and just wins everything. It is like, they are, in my opinion, top 6 in the world. Maybe top 8 if you really want to push it. But like, they are a top contending team. And I think they could beat a lot of EU and NA teams. Like, definitely so. But unfortunately, we do not have a LAN to prove that. So they will be heading though to the championships. And they will be facing in a best of 3, best of 7 against Cringe Society to decide who is the winner of OCE. That will be the deciding matchup for them. I'm excited to watch that because I want Ground Zero just to win. Realistically, if Ground Zero win, that is a positive because it shows how they can keep up this dominance consistently, and hopefully they come into next season, dominate at fall, make the fall major. Fall major, can it please be a closed LAN? We get Ground Zero on LAN and we can see how they do against other teams because they are so good. Absolutely insane at the moment. But we're talking about cross-region match, like Ground Zero possibly going to LAN if one ever happens. Talking about cross-region matchups, you see the results right up there on top of your screen. Guild versus First and Friends, the challenge from Retals finally takes place, and well, we see Guild won it. But that wasn't the only match we saw. Guild did win 4-1, and we will look over the scores of that game while we watch the OCE in the background. But I think to discuss the stream in general first. What a stream it was, by the way. Johnny, Turbo, Dazarin, and Rizzo put on some show. Turbo especially, man. What a guy he was. Like, he absolutely ran that place. Like, oh, it was so good to watch. So much fun. And I really went in with low expectations, I can't lie. I said so many times on this stream that, like, I'm not expecting much from this. I think, you know, you're kind of pointless, it's going to be kind of boring. Like, Guild probably, you know, they have the ping advantage, but will they win? I don't know. Like, it doesn't really matter though, because it's just a random matchup. It's a one thing. EU over NA, you know what I mean? Like, it's cross region, high ping, random team. It doesn't really. So many excuses can be made. It doesn't really matter. But I still stand by that. It doesn't matter at all. The results could have been 4-0 for all the NA teams. It wouldn't change a thing for me, in my opinion. But either way, we're seeing that Guild, well, they were able to take that very first game. Well, that first series that was played, they took it 4-1. We see the games as well. They were like decent games. That was OT, 1-goal game, 2-goal game, 2-goal game, and they lost one. First and Friends is a good team as well. Right, was first kill was Chicago. Like, these are not bad teams one bit. And then we go to another game though, because on the stream there was a bit of not controversy. There's a bit of a call out, and the general's guy that G says, "Get me, Mr. and J Nats on. We'll face any EU team and we'll beat them." And they face Team Queso, Team Cheese, Atomic Dementia, VK Sailing. And they went 4-2, they went 2-0 down, but they claw it back. And then, with one of my favourite things I would say that happened this kind of time, with the result of it, we had one last matchup. Finally switching things around. Envy versus Airbus. Airbus being Monkey Moon, Astro, Itachi, 3 of the best players in the world, let alone Europe, facing up against Envy, and Envy beat them 4-0. Like, there was 2 goals scored, and one of them was one of the best goals of all time. Like, it was so funny. I mean, let's get the VOD up quickly. It was literally one of the best goals of all time for the goal that was scored. Is it this one here? I think it's the goal incoming. One of the best goals scored of all time. And yeah, it was one of the 2 goals scored for Airbus. Oh, look at this goal! Look how good that is from Monkeyman. Like, that is insane. Yeah, they still lost, and that was one of the only goals they scored. Monkeyman was the only person to score the whole series. And even after all of that from Monkey Moon, he does all that great work getting the goals. This then comes to fruition. This just dominates Twitter for the rest of the night. Monkey Moon, after getting beaten by Team Envy, gets absolutely clowned on by literally everyone. We got it trending on Twitter. Look, if you get random Twitter accounts just posting it now. Okay, Mickey Moon was trending. There we are. I'm right there. It's trending in the US. It's all going wild. Mickey Moon, Mickey Moon. It's like number 8 it was. It went wild, and that's all because he just gets swept by Envy. And it was the funniest thing because the matchup meant nothing, and everyone on Twitter except some of the brain dead people know that. But like everyone around the end, even Monkeyman was there. BDS was in on it as well. RL Esports was in on it. Everyone just spammed Mickey Moon into oblivion on Twitter, and it was I didn't even see it. What a magnificent thing. The casting death was such a good picture. But yeah, no, it was such a good shot as well. But he just gets clowned on for it. Absolutely clowned on. And he scores that goal, one of the best goals ever in competitive Rocket League, and he gets clowned on. But no, either way, Envy take down Airbus. But there's 2 things at this show. So 1, for every single matchup, the team that won was the team that the ping was in the advantage for. But also for every single matchup, the team that won was an actual roster. So I think if they want to do this again, next time, put Envy on EU servers. And Airbus on EU servers, for example. So, you know, the pickup team has a bit of an advantage. But next time, I want to see just actual rosters. And they did discuss that. They discussed doing it again. So I am, fingers crossed, if we just get a for-fun event, get the top 6 teams in. Sorry, OCE and Sam, it's not going to work really with them, let's be honest. Because ping's too high for OCE. Sam can play with NA, but not EU, really. They can try it, I guess, but I feel like it'd be really hard on OCE if they're the only ones to get excluded. Either way, though, it was so much fun, and I really can't wait if they actually do it again, because I want to see it. I want to see, like, BDS versus Envy, Vitality versus Space Station. I want to see all that. I don't care if it's online and it's literally meaningless. I just want to see some fun international Rocket League online. I don't care. Go back to the old Rocket Royale days. Is that what they were called? Rocket Royales. Like, just go back to the past. Like, we had iBuyPower versus Flipside online back in 2016. That was just fun. We got international comment. Give us that again while we don't have lands. Because that was so much fun that stream, and props to Johnny for setting it all up and dealing with it all, and Dazvin and Turbo and Vissel for putting on such a good show. It was so much fun. Anyway, a bit more of interesting RL Esports news going away from the actual results. Virt has been dropped from Team Endpoint. Well, I think the exact wording we'll put into the bench. We'll read the tweet in just a moment, but either way, Virt has been let go from the Endpoint roster, meaning that the start of EU roster mania has obviously officially begun, with roster move finally happening. Even before the major, roster mania is going to begin, and I am... Once it gets on a whole new topic here of roster moves. Roster moves next season, or this off season, they are going to go nuts. Like, holy shit, man. Shift RLE, the Twitter account, is going to absolutely blow up. They are going to have a field day, because they have so many rumours to post. Like, we already have that Aether's been signed by an org, we don't know who. They know who it is. Speculation is that it could be Nip because of recent followings and stuff like that. Maybe Nip signed Aether, we'll find that out soon. Shift already know, but they're not even tweeting it just because they want to respect the players and they like the players. They have so much material this offseason, their Twitter account is going to absolutely boom, so props to them getting on this fast. This season is going to be huge for them. It's going to be huge for anyone who does roster videos. Coincidentally, I'm starting this just before the off-season because I know roster changes are going to happen and I can't wait to fucking talk about them. Easy content, let's go! Anyway, Endpoint, They dropped Virtuoso, and I said a lot of things about it. Let's put up the tweet actually, we can read a bit of the replies. Because I seen the replies to the tweet, and some people were not very happy about it. We have them here, but we'll watch the video first. Well, I think it's only courteous we watch the video. This is a Reddit like goodbye video.
10 goals scored, 5-5. Are we going to overtime?
We have to. Unless maybe endpoint in the last second.
Oh, it's
This is a really good goal, I remember. Yeah, that was insane.
You can't.
That was an insane goal by Virt.
We need to get this win on the board and send ourselves to a record of 7-6.
Oh, they drowned out crowd over the music. This is the Virt montage, let's be honest.
Maybe there was a window there, but Rudy, he was back.
I do like more to this. That's nice at least, but
Still looking
the music's a bit loud. I can't really hear the casters. I hear the casters.
Your own half. 0-0. Looking towards
Virt Cam, the
being another
only thing that ever
overtime.
came in the endpoint stream.
Third one of the series, the third one in a row. Metzel,
That's all 4 of Virt's goal of all season.
Second to go.
He was looking
I may
for
have a fifth one,
Virtuoso. He is sad that he didn't have anything in the tank. 'Cause he
5 of his goals this whole season.
So Virtuoso gives up one pass.
There's a 6. There's a 6. He got more than 5 goals. Oh, that's a sick one actually. I can't even talk shit. That's sick. But either way though, endpoint never stop. Oh, Virtuoso mate. They released Virtuoso from their roster, pushed into the inactive side, meaning that he will be looking for a new team. He's already tweeted that he will be looking for a new team in the future, and that means that endpoint will also be looking for a third. Now you look down in the comments to this, you see a lot of people here. Wrong decision. A lot of people, I think it was in the same thread actually, they should have got Metza gone. People were just sad about it, which is fair. Rip Virt Cam. But yeah, no, some people disagreed with it. Great move. No Virt, sad, no pain. There's that fucking saying scrub kill on the whiny. But either way, Virtuoso is gone. And that means at endpoint looking for a new player. Who it will be, I can't even speculate, because I have no clue what's going to happen at Roster Mania. Like, I could just pick a name out of a hat and I have a good chance of being correct, just because of how insanely all over the place Roster Mania is right now. But that does bring me on to a point here of, I think it was a good move. I've been saying for a while that I personally think that on endpoint, Virtuoso was the weakest link for a while in my opinion. I feel like the whole demo aspect of him really kind of died down. It wasn't what it used to be, you know. He wasn't getting the insanely cluttered demos going and just mowing down the team, making this whole Virt Cam thing that's going on here actually a thing that happened, actually, and it makes sense. Because as the time went on, he kind of calmed down a bit, tamed it back, but that caused the team to be a lot less creative and a lot less lethal of what they do. And I think with inconsistencies overall, it feels like he was the best person to replace with with Metza and Relating Wake having such a good foundation, having to deal in a lot of 2v3 situations because of Virtual playstyle. I feel like they meshed the best together, so a Virt move is only the right thing, not because Virt's a bad player, but because I think that Metza, Noise and Relating Wave are just going to be better teammates because of the experience they've had together on that team. But I am interested in how Virt will go. I don't know where he'll go. I was thinking about this before I started, and I really can't decide where I think he's gonna go. I don't know what team I could pick for him, because there's so many. I don't know who endpoint are gonna take, but I'm excited to see him nonetheless. I feel like we're gonna get some insane new rosters, and I am excited to see them. I can't lie. I'm excited to see just what we come ahead, and these roster moves are going to be exciting, even for NA as well. I've not even talked about NA, but the roster moves are going to be coming for there as well, out of left field. I think G2 are going to make a roster move unless they literally just win the major or win championships. They're making a roster move. They're not going to keep trees. I doubt it. I think that maybe something like Envy can make a roster move. That's a shock one, but I feel like that's the team who could make a roster move starting to slip as time went on. They had a really good start, but SSG and Energy started to kind of overtake them a little bit. So same for Rogue as well, actually. And maybe they make a roster move. Maybe even Rogue makes a roster move for NA. There's so much potential, and that's just speculation. For the top teams, who knows how it will go, to be totally honest. I think it all comes down to the major and championships, how it will go from now on. But I think all non-top 6 teams, pretty much in both regions, or almost all of them, are going to make a roster move in some way, shape or form. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I feel very confident about that fact. I feel like so many of them are just going to make a lot of roster moves. Let's just look at these rosters really quickly. Before I move on to my very last thing in the day, let's just look at these rosters. Let's just go to Europe. Regional 3 rosters here. Like, BDS will not, Vitality will not, Solary probably not, but could do if they do bad in championships. White Demons, I think they're in the up and up. I think they will stick, unless CRR gets a better offer. If CRR gets like a good offer, maybe from someone like Giants, if they get rid of someone, or like Kato if they make a change, I could see him moving. Otherwise, I don't think he moves. Oops, I didn't make Hug and Tigre. Guild, I don't see them changing. I think they'll stick it out. Rix, they're going to change. They'll get rid of... Probably Cash will end up leaving or something. Queso will... maybe they get rid of VK Sailing. I don't know. Top Lots will stick. Giants... I think they've already... Are they not already making a change? 1 minute. I'm sure I remember seeing a tweet about them like maybe making it... Oh, it says. Making a change. Yep. So Zamway is going. Meaning that my idea of maybe CRR to Giants could be possible. I could see that move actually. I could have dig that move. CRR to Giants. That seems sick. Anyway, the Giants are making a change. BS plus competition. Oh, because they started doing well tail ends. I think like White Demons, Godsmiller's team, and Aether are all teams where I don't know if they'll make a change because they done well tail off the competition, so they didn't have a chance to really make it to the top. Liquid, like let's be, they're making a change. Let's not sugarcoat things. They are making a change. The only person I see leaving BS competition is a Chronic, but I don't think people will pick him up. I think they will. Yeah, like we're gonna make a change. Let's like be realistic here. This isn't even a leak because I do not know if they're going to make a change or not. I do not know who they would be changing or anything like that. But I'm on like anyone with a brain like can realise that they are almost definitely going to make a change. I don't know who that change will be. Maybe like we just get rid of the roster and pick up someone new. I have no clue what's going to happen. I just hope they keep an EU team so I can hopefully keep a job. Anyway, Liquid, they're going to make a change. Who knows what it will be? They're not picking up Flaked. That's one thing that's not going to happen. Aether, not going to make a change. They're going to get picked up. They're going to be sick next season. It is a great team. 100%. Atlantide Wave. Oh, I think so. I'm gonna show you a little secret here. How do I get to that page again? How do I get to the page I want to get to? How do I get there? Is it here? It is. So as you can see here, we've got some interesting players. 15 is the age you have to be to play in RLCS. So we've got some who just made in. TLR just old enough now. Sazen just became old enough. Georgia became old enough. Dreeds became old enough. Now Vitra, really good player. May 14th. You can't see here. It's currently May the 3rd, so he's going to be old enough to play. I'm not going to say as having an outlandish one, but I think Atlantide Wave maybe swap someone out here for a really young French prodigy. I'm sad they can't get Atav. Atav is the little brother of like old time kind of bubble pro player Faco. And he is insane, but he's not going to be old enough for a while. I think he's like December. Oh, he's 2007. He's got a whole year to wait. That sucks. But yeah, no, he's not going to be in. But either way, they'll make a change probably. Endpoint already making a change. Wolves, they'll make a change. I don't see why they would not make a change. Who knows what it'll be though? Maybe Rix. Don't know. Maybe Cookser goes somewhere else. Maybe Cookser retires. Hopefully not. Galaxy Racer. Yeah, they fucked it. They choked the season. They'll make a change. Train Hard Esport. Now, I said that almost all the teams who didn't make top 6 and weren't new will make a change, but unless Econ gets snagged up by a better French team, he is not changing. Because like that team could be so good. I think they've had a bad ending, but that team could be insane. Howard will easily make a change. Polar's already retired, so they are making a change. Dignitas, they will not make a change, and this team's already split, so they're making a change. So like most of the teams are making changes already made top 6, or like it's a kind of 50-50. I'm not quite sure. So with Endpoint dropping Virt, that leaves a lot of space open. Maybe someone from Wolves comes over, maybe like a Bluey takes his place, maybe an Arju. Maybe they like try and take someone from Liquid, maybe they try and take like a Speed to join Meta and Relating Wave. Maybe Fruity and Ronica stay together, maybe like a whole new team get better with one of these players, like maybe it's like a team based around Speed, a team based around Fruity, maybe they go for someone different for Liquid. Maybe a Chronic kind of moves on to like a top kind of team, if so already choke it, maybe they kind of snag up someone like Casio or Sazin or Prime maybe, who knows. Either way though, I'm interested to see, but I think best of luck to Endpoint and Virtuoso. I'm excited to see what they do for their roster move. But, ladies and gentlemen, one last segment of today, of this last week in Rocket League, and it's not a bit of news that happened, it is a reply to Twitter. So as I so tweeted, if we look at my beautiful Twitter, by the way, BoyRoyRL on Twitter, if you haven't already, you might as well just follow. 536 followers, let's make it 537 right now. Like, come on. I'll wait. But not that long, because I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and I don't have too much dead time, and that's going to be kind of boring. But either way, like, because someone please just do it, like, quickly. I don't know if any of these aren't for. One minute. I'll remember to edit this out YouTube, surely. Surely I remember. Fuck. Is he going to let me change the number? It doesn't let me change it. Fuck. Damn it. Anyway, moving on. No, I did, but like, look, it's a link, so it doesn't work. I can't change the number because of it. You know, I can't change the number. Look, wait, fuck. I found it. Fucking what? Oh, look at that. We got a follower. We got a follower. 537. Anyway, more importantly, our very last segment of the day, as we say goodbye to the Endpoint logo, is talking about a question from Twitter. I posted on Twitter, asked me a question, and I'll get it in, and we got one from the Croesus. I'm going to refresh, but if I'm already off the scene. Fuck you unfollowed prick. Anyway, I asked you to give me some questions. If you want to give me a question for next week, I'm going to have a tweet out, or I'm going to also upload this to YouTube. I'll tweet about it anyway. Reply on YouTube or Twitter or anything like that, and I will pick a question to answer. Maybe 2 questions, depending on if I like several questions to answer at the end of the next episode. So either way, from the Croesus, the question is another one I thought might be good. First asked about, is Ground Zero good enough, which we already discussed. Is changes we might want to see for next season. Maybe moving a 3 split to a 2 split system, etc. So we'll start with the first one he suggested. The man suggested a 2 split system instead of a 3 split system. Now my kind of views on this is I really like the 3 split system. I think it splits up the year really nicely, and it gives a good variation. I think the formats could change, we'll get onto that. But I think having these 3 splits things up really nicely. We have split 1, I think they're just starting off, and then split 2, that might make a roster move here or there, maybe stick around a bit. And then split 3, the final one, the last chance, it gets even more intense, it cuts it down. We go from 32 teams to 24 teams to 20 teams making the regionals. So it makes it a lot more intense each time. They go back to old format for each split. Fuck no, that's a terrible idea. That is like the worst idea I've ever heard. The old format was 7 games of Rocket League to decide who made World Championships. Like, we now have like 55 games of Rocket League to decide who makes the fucking major. Like, let's not digress back to 7 games for the whole like World Championship decision. Let's not. Either way though, yeah. I like the 3 split system mainly because of the diversity it gives and the kind of storyline that can create. Like, we had the comeback arc of Dignitas. They started off a really weak season. They brought it back. Same for Solary. Bro, Solary were doing just as bad as Liquid in the foul split. Sorry and Liquid, well, they were Oxygen at the time, were like equally bad. They were like, they didn't make the major, just outside of top 16 to make it. I think they were like 17th from 18th respectively or something like that. Or maybe Sorry did, I can't remember. Either way though, they were a shit start. Oxygen were able to bring it back though with the extra time, and because they make it harder to get in, the points go up. It's like a less team, more points. I really like that distribution. So I like how that one works, but I would say that I would like to see formats tweaked a bit. I really, really like Swiss that we had in fall. I hope Swiss comes back. Winter, double elimination bracket, I didn't like it. Maybe they could do it a different way for the bracket, but the 24 team double elimination bracket, it didn't really work because, like, if you could win a series and still get last place, you could go like 1 and then 2 and get last place, but you could go 0 and then 1. Like, you could win 1, you could lose then win, and you could get like second last place. You know what I mean? You could get to the next stage. So you could get an advantage for losing early because seeding is so volatile in Rocket League that I think relying solely on seeding, which I guess does happen for Swiss, the way Swiss works is a bit better. Relying solely on seeding for your format to work and having expected results in a game like Rocket League where it's so volatile and teams are so close together, that doesn't work for the players. That does not work. Like, let's just get an example up here. Let's just pull up an example of the winter split. Europe. I don't even know a good regional one. Say them was trash all season. I disagree, but we can go into that. Like, let's look. Who lost early then won? The Train Hard one. Will there be a team who like lost early and won? Yeah, actually, let's just not look at regional one because I forgot this is when we got double 2'd. Let's go regional 2 instead, because we got double 3'd in the regional 1. I don't want to look at that again. Anyway, we see team here at Dignitas. So Dignitas get upset by Train Hard, and Train Hard then go to game 5 against Giants Gaming. This is a great result for Train Hard. They have absolutely smashed it, and they get last place. They get last. Dignitas. Endpoint beat Rex. They lose to Vitality. Still a good result though, but they should be expecting an easy team. They should be expecting them like Train Hard in the lower bracket. But because Train Hard beat Dignitas, it's Dignitas, and they lose. And then this is a normal result. Like, you know, these are expected teams to lose, and Dignitas should beat Zenka. Dignitas are better, obviously. And then they win again against Oxygen. Then they lose to Redemption, which is kind of a choke. But it's like the teams who won early, like Endpoint, like Train Hard, they got disadvantaged because they had to play harder teams. Denied as well. They beat Sauce Squad, and then they had to play against Singularity because Singularity get beaten game 5 against You Choose Petri. And because of that, the teams who are winning get punished because they lose to an even better team than the team they beat, and because of that, it's like, well, they just beat a really good team, but yet they're still getting last, and the team they bet are getting a stage ahead of them because they had to play an easy team, and it's not fair on them. It really fucks them over. And even looking at the spring split, because there was a bit of gripes I had with this format. If you go to the group stage, let's go to the group. Let's go to week 2 because we've done well on this one. We look at the group stage. We see matches which really then start to kind of not matter, and it's not as big of an issue because of the way groups work, because it's all for season, but like, even for the knockout gauntlet, the fact that this knockout gauntlet, this is a good thing. But if we go up to the major, it isn't there. The knockout gauntlet is gone. Meaning that it doesn't really, like, Group A first, Group B fourth. Let's look at teams who got first and fourth in Europe. We could have Team Liquid versus, this is the first place team. Again, let's just say Vitality, that's their own different group. Dignitas versus Vitality. That could be a round 1 matchup because of how the groups went. Because Vitality lost 2 extra games, and Endpoint did. They are the worst 3 extra games. They had a 3 game difference worse than second place, and because of that, they then played the top of another group. But then they have the time to make up for it here. They can go through the gauntlet and this time they did choke it. But if they were doing well enough and it was just a one bad day, they can make up for it and get a better seed. Whereas, because of how the groups work in the major, it could be the difference of about a 2-game differential. It could be goal difference that decides if you play BDS or White Demons, for example. Let's just say, because of how volatile a group stage can be with standings, because it's going to be volatile. I like the group stage, but they have to have this knockout gauntlet again. Overall, though, I think it's pretty decent, but also they have to have these matches on stream. This is a tangent. Get these fucking matches on stream. They cannot do that again. Sorry. Also for the OCE Major, by the way, I'm gonna be fucking livid. Major, I'm gonna be so angry if more matches are off stream, because like, off stream, on stream, off stream, on stream, off stream. Okay, I get the power. Okay, so for the group stage, 10 matches were off stream for the major. Direwolves were in none of them. Luckily, they got on stream twice because they actually made top 8. But imagine, you make it to the major, you get on the big stream, the OCS broadcast, the big one, the top casters casting for you. You're making it to the major, this is your time to shine, and you don't even get to be on fucking stream. Imagine how angry you would be if you didn't get to be on stream. Poor Donkey Squad. They were not on stream once, I can imagine. If my feed is correct. They were not on stream once after making it, trying so hard to make it to the major. I don't care if they got swept out 0-4, 4-12 in game difference. They worked hard to make it to the major, and they couldn't even get the least kind of thing to happen to them and getting on broadcast. They went out and they didn't even get to show themselves to the broadcast. They were just forgotten about. No one knew they were there for the outside viewer who wasn't paying full attention, and that fucking sucked. Because like, I can imagine, if I look at the points here, that the Donkey Squad, they put in a shift. Look at this. 150, 150, 210. These are good placements. That's really good placements they're getting there. And that's like a scrape by as well, because that's what, 510 points. If they just played this event, that could be good for Dumble's team. You know what I mean? They done well to make it, yet they get shafted because they couldn't get another broadcast. Surely they could get more OCE talent to do a first stream. Surely. And I think I feel the same is going to happen with Sam, EU and NA, that they're just going to have the 2 broadcasts. And because of that, teams aren't going to be on stream. And that fucking sucks. It really does. Anyway, getting back on point, I think we should keep 3 splits. Because of the reason I suggested, but I think formats should change. I don't know what my suggestions are, I need to think them through a little bit more, but I want formats to change. Other changes though, what I want to see happen, and I want to hear some chat input as well if people have other suggestions. I did say that while we complain about the seeding, I can say that the seeding was done on fact rather than belief or expectation of a team. So teams got seeded based on the points they had or their previous results, and because of that, it caused the season to be a bit more scuffed due to the fact that, as I said, Rocket League is such a volatile game that seeding isn't ever going to work. There is never going to be a perfectly seeded tournament or like a long span of tournaments. Mark my words on that. You could get the most intelligent people of the scene, the biggest experts of the scene, the seeding will never be perfect. 110%. There will never be a perfectly seeded tournament or anything close to it because of how volatile it is. And that's just a credit to how Rocket League is played and how close the community is, how close the gameplay is. But for other changes though, I'll go and quickly I'll bring this back here. Other changes. I want more community stuff. I am a big advocate. Maybe take an overall point for the last few months. The issue with that, I think it just kind of, it's a bit hard to do because you want to base it on the split based on the split, you know what I mean? It makes sense to me to base the split on the split. It's hard, but they can make the changes to it definitely to refine it, but it's not going to get much better. I'll tell you that. Anyway, bring back the C stream. Or, if you're not going to do that, this is bias for me because it fucking advantages me and I don't give a shit. Make the B stream for Europe the European casters, make the B stream for North America the North American casters, make a Rocket League B Twitch channel, and you alternate the streams on that, or make a Rocket League B and a Rocket League C and partner with these organisations to broadcast it, have their logo somewhere on the screen, maybe in that top left position, top right position that I've got this tweet up here. Do something like that, but centralise your broadcasts. Centralise them. I don't want to have a broadcast on Rocket League, a broadcast on UGC, a broadcast on RLO, a broadcast on the Rocket RB, a broadcast on Rocket Street, a broadcast on this, a broadcast on that. That's too hard to follow. I know where they are because I fucking know like this esport. I literally work in this esport and I need to know this stuff. But for a fan, let's say for example Matthew, if you're still around, he doesn't have to give a shit. He just, if he wants to watch a game, going to look for a match. He's not going to fucking know that Rocket League's getting played on UGC, or it was E-League back in the start, but that deal went out of nowhere. We didn't really know. It just could have changed one day to UGC. We need to know, have it centralised. Like, next season, I want a Rocket League B and a Rocket League C, or a Rocket League B with alternating talent for the regions. And also, get the B stream for OCE and Sam. I do not care if you're running them. What about just randomly on Dazon stream? That was regional 3 of EU. Regional 3 of EU, due to UGC's broadcaster having his COVID shot and getting sick, and they did not have a backup broadcaster, therefore it had to be done on Dazon's broadcast. That is understandable, but I feel like that would be avoided if they had more broadcasters available, which is easier said than done for sure, but also centralise it on an official channel. Do not offload it, have the partners work for you. They should be in control of the contract, and I can be almost certain that like UGC have got a streaming deal with Rocket League to stream it, or something like that. They've got a deal that lets them stream it, but I want that deal to change so that it's on a Rocket League channel. UGC will still get the exposure because they don't gain fuck off this. They'll gain followers and people will come only for the fucking drops. Like, let's be honest here, UGC don't gain much from this, and much as they think they will. If it's on a centralised spot, people know where to go. There will be a larger viewership. The name of UGC, for example, if they're still the broadcast partner, will be on the screen somewhere, let's just imagine. The talent still gets to do the same thing, split the talent though, as I said, make it NA does it NA, EU does EU, or bring in a C stream, get more talent involved. It fucking advantages me, I do not give a shit. I want to have everyone around here get a chance. Do that, and it's gonna boost it so much. Look at CSGO, ESL CSGO B, that's pulling like 90k viewers sometimes, because it's so easy to find and big matches are happening there. Let's say for the Rocket RB for example, we had a Vitality match a few times, and Vitality matches always pull in huge viewership. And we got like 8k viewership. Now, imagine that channel was called Rocket League C or Rocket League B, and they advertised that in the mainstream. Imagine that. And they had it in a squad stream as well. Let's imagine that happening. That viewership is, without a doubt in my mind, 25k, 20, 30k. And Rocket League is nowhere near as big as CSGO right now. I'm going to CSGO, but I want numbers even just comparable, minuscule. Like, I'm comparing like 80k to 25k. I want that kind of comparison. We're comparing like an 5k for an alternate broadcast to like 50k, and that is ridiculous. League of Legends, sometimes like their alternate streams have more viewers than the main Rocket League broadcast. Okay, League of Legends once again big, but they advertise them better. Make them advertise. They've literally made the Rocket League Espanol, Rocket League Francais, Rocket League Deutsch, like all these Twitter accounts and stuff like that, for news and all that. Have these for esports as well. Make it a centralised thing. Rocket Baguette, even partner with that. Actually no, for alternate languages do not partner. I don't like that. I think keep the partners for alternate languages different because it's different communities and it works better. But for your own English broadcast, centralise them so it's easier to follow. And to go off that for next split, one thing that needs to get fucking changed is this website right here. This very website. Let's look at this website. I had so much fucking hope. I had so much hope when we had the glow. I don't know how people remember when the Rocket League website changed their thing up here, and it was the globe circling around, and they leaked our LCSX. I'm like, they're doing something with their website. This is so good. It's gonna be great. I'm like, what the fuck's this, man? I've just opened Epic Games Client. Oops. Upcoming broadcast. Sorry. 1 second. Do you see what I mean? Oh, I'll drop a camera. That's fine. Everyone knows my town. I've said this plenty of times. Doesn't matter. Anyway. This is the issue. They forget it exists. What is RCS the grid? I see what it takes me to. Just to down to the RCS the grid. It takes me to this. That doesn't even tell me about the grid. That's telling me about. Did it all take me to the same page? So for the section of telling me about the grid, they tell me about RFCSX. Make it a condensed page. Even something simple like that. Give it a section for the grid. Let's go to leaderboards. RFCSX. So first of all, why are we comparing the EU and NA teams in the same leaderboard? Also, let's just verify. Are these rankings correct? And if so... Okay, they are correct. But if we're going to have both regions here, we have BDS, we have Energy, and if we're going to have all of this, where the fuck's Sam and OCE? If you're going to have the regions in the same place, like, if we're going to rank them like that, BDS is at 4,300. Crown Leader should be at the top of that list. They've got 5,200. Where are they in the list then? Where are they? What about the Sam teams? Where is True Neutral and Furia? They're top 2 Sam. They should be on this list. They should be right in here. Where are they? Why only put EU and NA in the list? And why have them in the same list anyway? It's a mess. Let's look at the grid. So, when was this? When was this last updated? When would we have grid points of 1554 for Energy? Let's have a look. Let's go over to Winter. Rankings. The grid rankings. 432, that when they had it? What the wait. 15... Have they added the point? 1554. Okay, so this time what they have done is they have added up the points from the fall and winter to display the grid rankings, which makes fucking no sense because they don't carry over. That's an inaccurate representation of your rules for a start. Also, these are the fall and winter standings. We didn't even have grid points for spring. We had a league play. It was league play for spring. Where's that? Put that on the website and split it as well. Put fucking RLO Masters on this. Put the Grind series on this as well. Where's Sam and OCE? Fix the fucking website. Let's look as well at broadcast. We already looked at this one actually. News. What news have they got? Okay. They look like they're actually updating their news. I'll give them that. They're updating their news. Good. Ian. Everyone give a clap for Ian in the chat. Ian does the Twitter as well. Ian does socials for Rocket League. He is a legend. Give a clap for Ian. He's done his job. Let's go, Ian. Either way, though. Let's keep going. Fan rewards. As these events you can get fan rewards in. Wait. So how have they achieved this? How have they updated the fan rewards section, but not the broadcast section? Surely you fucking do it at the same time. Like, do it at the same time. You've got the dates right here for fan rewards. Just put them on it together. Like, I can go here to find out when the major is, but I can't go here to find out when it is. Why not? The rules, that's all fine. What's the community tournament rules? Oh, okay, this is the guideline. These are all fine. That's not a big issue with the website. But this needs so fixed. Also, how do I know what teams are doing good? I want to look at matchup history. Where do I go to look at matchup history? I go right fucking here. Right? I got Wikipedia. And that is where Tashmap was saying, Tashmap, I don't think they should promote Wikipedia. You know why? Because they shouldn't fucking have to. And that is the issue. There should be no reason for Psionics to have to promote Wikipedia, because they should be doing it themselves. Wikipedia, for example, let's go to League of Legends. Let's go to CSGO. They've got this whole thing with CSGO. You know what CSGO has though? They've got HLTV. Now this is what gets promoted, this is what Valve want, but Wikipedia still exists and does a great job at presenting information. Rocket League should not be relying on Wikipedia to do it for them. They need to do it themselves. That's a joke that they can't do it themselves. They need to change that. Luckily Wikipedia is here to save us all, but like, they shouldn't promote them. They should at the moment, but overall they should not be promoting them because they should be doing it themselves. So they should keep the format. In conclusion, keep the format. Centralize your broadcast and fix your fucking website. One last thing. Give more support to Sam and OCE. Like, they could have run rampant here. This is done by ESL Oceania. This is done by Rocket Street, which is good. I like they're also getting involved. Have Psionics organise it and just have Rocket Street and like RLO involved in it. Give them the same treatment. Don't just bun these regions Rocket that want to add them in. Oh, one last thing. Before I forget. Also, this is sick. I'm happy they're doing this. I'm happy they're doing this. This is good. They're actually promoting these events. These are good events to be happening. Good for the bubble scene. Good for them to promote them. Get the sponsor out for them. Get the money for them. This is good. Good on terms for this. But right, the time I feel like I feel so confident it's gonna happen now because of our signs have been pointing. Surely next season has Asia and Middle East. Surely. They're promoting so many tournaments for them, sponsoring them. They're giving them a chance in the mainstream for like some events. They're talking about them in the mainstream. Surely this is the next season where we get Asia and the Middle East together. Like, I don't see why not. But if they do, please don't combine them as one big region. That will not work. That will fall on their face. Either way, put about any more at Psionics. They are doing a good job overall. I will give them that. They have done a good job. And these are the things I want them to change. This is not thing I'm telling them to be good about. That is why it sounds all negative. Okay? I'm not going to harp on about someone being terrible because they do a good job. They paid me, like I have to be somewhat grateful. I did get a cast. Not that I'm saying they're doing good. Just, I'm kind of grateful. Anyway. What they have done this season have been so good. What I do hope to see as well is another community takeover in the off season. That would be nice to see. Just get the community involved more. Keep doing that, Psionics. No LAN, unfortunate. I understand the reasoning. We had the Rainbow Six situation where at their LAN event a production member got COVID. They had to delay it. It got cancelled like 20 times already. It's back on now. COVID happened there though. It's a bit of a mess. A lot of money being spent by Riot Games to get these LANs going ahead in Reykjavik, which is had a fucking volcano explode. Like, finally kind of going tits up. I think it's better to be safe than sorry, so I respect them for that decision. I hope they keep doing well. I'm excited for the majors. And that also includes the very first episode on last week in Rocket League. If you want to have any questions sent my way, go to Twitter, go to YouTube. When I upload this as well, I'll post a tweet about that and send any questions my way. And if I'm not already talking about them, well, I might talk about them on this very broadcast. I thank you all for coming by, and I really hope you've enjoyed the first episode of Last Week in Rocket League, and hopefully let me know on Twitter if you did enjoy it, and I'll be back next week, and hopefully you'll be back again, and hopefully we can make this into something special. But anyway, thank you all for coming, really do appreciate it. People on YouTube, because I'm going to this pod getting ripped straight to YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, doing all that stuff. Anyway, I forgot to say at the start, I'm not that much of a sellout, but do it anyway. People in chat as well, when I post this on Twitter, I'm gonna fucking spam this in the Twitch chat tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever. So spam, fucking better do it on Twitch chat. Yous are not safe. Anyway, thank you. Have a good night, and I will see you all on stream tomorrow and on YouTube next week.